Commander Alex Morgan watched as Earth turned into a small blue dot against the darkness of space. His hands gripped the metal rail in front of the main viewport of the USS Constitution. The weight of responsibility pressed down on his shoulders. 7 billion lives back on Earth were counting on him even if they didn't know it yet. "Beautiful, isn't it?" said a voice behind him. Alex turned to see Ambassador Lisa Chen joining him at the viewport. Her dark hair was pulled back neatly, her diplomatic uniform crisp and perfect. "Always is," Alex replied. "No matter how many times I see it." Lisa nodded. "Hard to believe that 3 months ago we thought we were alone in the universe. Now we're heading to meet a council of over 300 alien species." Alex's jaw tightened. "A council that's been watching us for 50 years without making contact." "Until now," Lisa said. "The question is, why now?" The Constitution was humanity's pride, their most advanced warship, built after scientists discovered strange signals coming from Alpha Centauri 5 years ago. But compared to what they now knew existed out there, it might as well have been made of sticks and stones. The ship shuddered slightly as it increased speed. Alex felt the vibration through his boots. "Commander!" Lieutenant Samantha Wright called from her station at the main controls. Her red hair was cut short, practical for long missions in space. "Admiral Harding is calling. Priority 1. Alex nodded. "Put her through to the main screen." The large display at the front of the bridge flickered, and Admiral Kate Harding's stern face appeared. Her gray eyes seemed to look through Alex rather than at him. "Commander Morgan," she said, "how's our bird flying?" "Smooth sailing, Admiral," Alex replied. "We'll reach the council station in 2 days." "Good. The President wanted me to check in." Harding's expression grew more serious. "This Zarkonian ambassador, did he say anything else when he inspected our ship?" Alex exchanged glances with Lisa. "He called it presentable enough for new members of the galactic community." Harding snorted. "Generous of him. The arrogance of these aliens is something else." "They've been in space for thousands of years, Admiral," Lisa pointed out. "From their perspective, we're probably like children. Children don't build nuclear weapons and railguns, Ambassador," Harding replied sharply. "Morgan, remember your orders. Be respectful, but don't let them push us around. We want to join their community, not become their pets." "Yes, ma'am," Alex said. After the call ended, the bridge fell quiet. The soft beeping of instruments and the low hum of the engines were the only sounds. "Well, that was cheerful," said Science Officer Daniel Carter as he walked onto the bridge. He was tall and thin, with thick glasses and a permanent look of curiosity on his face. In his hand was a small tablet computer. "Got something, Dan?" Alex asked. Daniel nodded. "I've been studying the files the Zarkonians sent us about the Galactic Council. It's concerning." Alex gestured for Daniel to continue. "In the last 1,000 years, 67 new species have been invited to join the Council," Daniel explained, showing Alex and Lisa the screen. "In every single case, within 10 years, their planets became protectorates of the older Council races, mostly under the Zarkonian Empire." Lisa frowned. "Protectorates? What does that mean exactly?" "It means," Daniel said grimly, "that they give up military control, resource rights, and colonial expansion in exchange for protection and guidance." Alex's face darkened. "They become vassals." "That's one way to put it," Daniel agreed. "The pattern is clear. New species are invited, shown how small they are compared to the galactic powers, then offered protection treaties they can't refuse." Lisa looked back at the shrinking image of Earth. "They waited 50 years to contact us. Why now? What changed?" Alex had been wondering the same thing. "Maybe we reached some technological threshold they care about." "Or maybe," Daniel suggested, "it's because of what we found on Mars last year." The room fell silent again. The discovery of the ancient ruins on Mars had been humanity's greatest scientific breakthrough. Strange metal alloys and crystals with properties that defied Earth physics. The public didn't know the whole truth, that the Constitution's new engines and weapon systems had been developed using principles learned from those ruins. Lieutenant Wright cleared her throat. "Commander, the engineering team reports that the Shield system is fully online and calibrated. Alex nodded. Tell them good work. Let's hope we never need to use it. The shield system, synchronized high-energy impact electromagnetic disruption, was their ace in the hole. A weapon system unlike anything Earth had built before. Something the aliens wouldn't expect. Do you think they know? Lisa asked quietly. About Mars? If they've been watching us for 50 years, they must, Alex replied. But I doubt they know what we've done with what we found there. The ship's intercom crackled. Commander Morgan, came the voice of Chief Engineer Ben Wilson. The new drive system is performing better than expected. We'll reach the Council station in 36 hours, not 48. Acknowledged, Chief. Keep up the good work. Alex turned to Lisa and Daniel. Let's go over the diplomatic protocols again. I want to know every rule, every custom, every potential insult before we dock. As they walked off the bridge, Alex took one last look at Earth, now just a pale blue pinpoint of light among countless stars. They think we're primitive, he said softly. Let them think that. For now. The Constitution surged forward, carrying not just diplomats and soldiers, but Earth's hopes, dreams, and secrets, weapons the Council's observers had dismissed as quaint and harmlessly primitive. They would learn soon enough that humans were full of surprises. The USS Constitution slowed as it approached the Galactic Council station. Through the main viewport, the crew of the human ship fell silent in awe. My God, whispered Lieutenant Samantha Wright. It's enormous. The harmony of stars wasn't just a space station. It was a marvel that made humanity's greatest achievements look like a child's building blocks. The massive structure gleamed like a jewel, its surface reflecting the light of Alpha Centauri. Parts of it seemed to be made of crystal, others of metals unknown to Earth science. It was easily larger than Earth's moon, with ships of all shapes and sizes coming and going like bees around a hive. Harmony of stars control to Earth vessel Constitution, came a voice over the communication system. Follow the guide lights to Docking Bay 94. Do not deviate from the assigned path. Your propulsion systems are unfamiliar to us. Alex exchanged glances with Lisa. The slight pause hadn't gone unnoticed. Understood, Control, Alex replied. Following your lead. As the Constitution followed the blinking lights toward its assigned dock, Daniel Carter studied the scanner readings. Commander, I'm detecting over 300 different energy signatures, he reported. Each one likely represents a different species technology, and our sensors can't even identify what's powering the station itself. Lisa adjusted her diplomatic uniform nervously. Remember, everyone, we're here to learn but also to stand our ground. Earth joins as an equal or not at all. The docking procedure went smoothly. With a slight shudder, the Constitution locked into place among the thousands of other vessels attached to the massive station. Welcome packet incoming, Lieutenant Wright announced. They're sending docking procedures, station maps, and behavioral guidelines. Let me see those, Lisa said, moving to Wright's station. She scanned the information quickly. Interesting. There are separate rules for developed and developing species. Guess which category they've put us in? Before anyone could answer, a chime indicated someone was at the airlock. Our escort has arrived, Alex said. Diplomatic team with me. Lieutenant Wright, you're with us. Everyone else, standard protocol. Be polite, reveal nothing we haven't planned to reveal. The airlock cycled open to reveal a tall, slender alien with 4 arms and iridescent scales that shifted colors in the light. 2 large, compound eyes studied the humans with what seemed like curiosity. Greetings, humans of Earth, the alien said, its mandibles clicking as it spoke. I am Grizik, assistant to the High Counselor. I will guide you to your accommodations and to the council chamber. Alex stepped forward. Thank you for your welcome. I'm Commander Alex Morgan. This is Ambassador Lisa Chen and Lieutenant Samantha Wright. Grizik's scales briefly flashed a deep blue. The council is most curious about your species. Achieving spaceflight so quickly after discovering electricity is quite remarkable for such a biologically simple species. Lisa smiled diplomatically, but Alex could see the tension in her shoulders. We're eager to learn from the council's wisdom, she said smoothly. As they walked through the station's corridors, Grzyk pointed out various features and facilities. The station was a city in space with areas dedicated to different functions: diplomatic quarters, research centers, trading hubs, and recreational facilities. Other aliens of all shapes and sizes moved through the corridors. Some looked almost human, while others defied description: beings of crystal, creatures that seemed made of living metal, and things that looked more like floating clouds of light than solid matter. The others? Alex asked carefully. The newer, members of the council. Where are their representatives housed? Grzyk's scales flickered briefly. The developing members have their own sector. It's more appropriate for their needs. You'll be housed there, of course. Of course, Lisa echoed, her smile never faltering. After being shown to their quarters, which were comfortable but noticeably simpler than what they had glimpsed in other sections, the humans were given 2 hours to prepare before the formal introduction to the council. They're not even trying to hide it, Daniel said once they were alone. They've already decided what we are and where we belong. Alex nodded. Which works in our favor. The more they underestimate us, the better. The council chamber is this way, Grzyk announced when the time came, leading them through grand corridors that grew increasingly magnificent. The council chamber itself took their breath away. It was a vast amphitheater that could seat thousands, with representatives from hundreds of species already gathered. The air was filled with a soft hum of conversation in countless languages, though somehow they could understand everything. Some kind of translation technology, Alex guessed. At the center of the chamber stood a raised platform where 7 aliens waited. The one in the middle, clearly the leader, was tall and imposing, with golden scales and eyes that seemed to glow with inner light. High Counselor Vexarin of the Zarkonian Empire, Grzyk announced quietly. The most respected leader in the galaxy. As the humans approached the central platform, a hush fell over the chamber. Thousands of alien eyes focused on them. Humans of Earth, Vexarin's voice boomed, somehow both powerful and melodious. We welcome you to galactic civilization. Your achievements are noteworthy for a species so young. The words were polite, but the tone carried the same condescension as Grzyk's had. The presentation began smoothly enough. Lisa outlined humanity's history and culture, drawing polite interest from the gathered representatives. When she mentioned Earth's art, music, and philosophy, several council members nodded appreciatively. But when Alex presented Earth's defense systems and the Constitution's capabilities, murmurs of amusement rippled through the chamber. High Counselor. Vexarin raised a clawed hand, interrupting Alex mid-sentence. Commander Morgan, these railguns and nuclear missiles you describe, you still rely on kinetic and nuclear fission weapons? How quaint. Most species abandon such toys within their first century of spaceflight. A crystalline being to Vexarin's. Right projected images of the Constitution's weapon systems for all to see. Our scans indicate your ship's primary armament is essentially metal projectiles accelerated by magnetic fields. We haven't seen such rudimentary technology in 15,000 years. Laughter echoed around the chamber, starting from the older council members and spreading outward. Alex felt his face grow hot, but he maintained his composure. We find our technologies quite effective for our needs. Of course you do, Vexarin said with what passed for a smile among his species. Just as a child finds a stick effective until given a proper tool. More laughter followed. Alex noticed Lisa's knuckles had turned white where she gripped her data pad. Vexarin gestured and a holographic document appeared in the air. We have prepared a standard protection agreement for Earth. In exchange for placing your military under Zarkonian guidance and allowing resource development rights to our corporations, we will provide technological enlightenment and security. Guidance. As they left the chamber 2 hours later, after enduring more thinly veiled insults disguised as guidance, Lisa whispered, "They're not even trying to hide their intentions." "No," Alex replied quietly. "But they've made a crucial mistake." "And what's that?" "They've underestimated us, and that's exactly what we wanted." The lights in the Constitution's main conference room were dimmed. Around the table sat Alex, Lisa, Daniel, and Samantha. Their faces looked grim in the blue glow of the holographic display floating above the center of the table. 2 weeks had passed since their first meeting with the Galactic Council. 2 weeks of smiling through insults, of nodding at condescending advice, and of watching as the council representatives grew increasingly impatient with Earth's stubbornness. The final terms of the protection agreement, Lisa said, pointing at the document displayed in the hologram. It's worse than we thought. Daniel adjusted his glasses. They're not even hiding it anymore. Look at Section 12. Earth would have to ask permission before building any new spacecraft. And Section 27, all our resources classified, as strategic minerals would be managed by Zarkonian corporations. It's colonization, Samantha said flatly, just with prettier words. Alex leaned forward, his face half in shadow. The question is, what happens when we say no? As if in answer, the communication system chimed. Priority transmission from Earth. Commander, came the voice of the communications officer. It's Admiral Harding. Put her through, Alex ordered. The holographic document disappeared, replaced by Admiral Harding's stern face. She looked tired, with dark circles under her eyes. Commander Morgan, she said without preamble, the President and Joint Chiefs have reviewed the Council's terms. She paused. The answer is no. Earth will not become a client state. Despite the tension, Alex felt a surge of pride. Understood, Admiral. How should we proceed? Deliver our formal refusal, then return to Earth immediately, Harding said. We've been monitoring increased activity at the Council's military outposts. They may not take our rejection well. Daniel cleared his throat. Admiral, I've been studying the historical records they provided. No species has successfully refused the Council's protection in over 2,000 years. What happened to those who tried? Lisa asked quietly. Daniel's face grew somber. The records call it pacification. From what I can tell, it means military action until the species submits or... He didn't finish the sentence. We expected this, Harding said. That's why the Constitution has certain upgrades they don't know about. Alex nodded. The shield system is ready, Admiral. Good. Remember your training and... The Admiral's image suddenly froze, then dissolved into static. At the same moment, alarm klaxons began blaring throughout. The ship. Commander, the ship's AI announced over the intercom. Multiple ships just dropped out of FTL near our position. They're Zarkonian warships. Alex was already moving, racing toward the bridge with the others close behind. How many? 6, sir. All capital ships. When they reached the bridge, the main view screen showed the situation. 6 massive Zarkonian vessels had taken position around the Constitution. Each was at least 5 times the size of the human ship, their sleek predatory shapes gleaming in the light of Alpha Centauri. Their weapon ports glowed with energy, ready to fire. They're surrounding us, Samantha said as she slid into her station. No escape vectors. They knew what our answer would be before we gave it, Lisa realized. They were just waiting for an excuse. Alex took his command chair. Battle stations, power up defensive systems, but keep shield on standby and hidden. The crew moved with practiced efficiency, despite the fear evident on their faces. Most had never seen alien ships up close before this mission. Now they were surrounded by 6 warships, each capable of destroying the Constitution with a single shot, or so the Zarkonians believed. Communication request from the lead vessel commander, reported the communications officer. On screen, Alex ordered, straightening in his chair. The face of High Counselor Vex Aran appeared on the main display. His golden scales seemed to glow with an inner light, and his expression was one of practiced patience, the look of a parent dealing with a difficult child. Commander Morgan, he said smoothly, we have received troubling information that Earth intends to reject the Council's generous offer of protection. I'm sure this is a misunderstanding. Alex met the alien's gaze steadily. No misunderstanding, Counselor. Earth has reviewed your terms and respectfully declines. We wish to establish relations as equals, not as a protectorate. Vexaran's eyes narrowed slightly. I see. How disappointing. The Council has voted to expedite your species integration for your own protection. Your ship will be escorted to Earth, where you will announce the new protectorate status. The threat behind the polite words was unmistakable. Alex stood up. With respect, Counselor, Earth has rejected your terms. We will not be escorted anywhere. A flicker of something, surprise, perhaps, or irritation, crossed Vexaran's alien features. Commander Morgan, surely you understand your situation. Your primitive vessel stands no chance against even one of our ships. This display of resistance is illogical and will only result in unnecessary complications. Perhaps, Alex replied calmly, but humans have a saying, don't judge a book by its cover. Vexaran's translator struggled with the idiom and his head tilted in confusion. Your archaic communication methods are as primitive as your weapons. Allow me to be clear. You have 1 hour to reconsider, or we will demonstrate true galactic firepower. The screen went black as Vexaran cut the communication. Well, that went well, Daniel said, his attempt at humor falling flat in the tense atmosphere. Lisa turned to Alex. They're actually going to attack us just because we said no? Yes, Alex replied grimly. They're used to species giving in at the first show of force. In their 2,000-year experience, no one stands up to them because no one can. Commander, Samantha called from her station. Engineering reports that the shield system is online and ready. All tests show green. Alex nodded. Good, now we wait. The minutes ticked by slowly. On the bridge, the crew monitored the Zarkonian vessels which maintained their positions, weapons charged and ready. Several smaller ships had appeared as well, hanging back at a safe distance. Observers from other council races, coming to watch the humans be put in their place. They're turning this into a spectacle, Lisa said with disgust. A public lesson for anyone who might think of defying the council. Then let's make sure they learn the right lesson, Alex replied. At her console, Samantha suddenly straightened. Energy spike from the lead Zarkonian ship. They're powering up their main weapons array. 59 minutes, Daniel noted, checking the time. They're not even giving us the full hour they promised. They never intended to, Alex said. Prepare defensive measures and make sure we're recording everything. Whatever happens next, the galaxy should see the truth. On the main screen, the massive Zarkonian flagship seemed to glow as its weapons reached full power. The other ships moved into optimal firing positions, ensuring there was no escape. Incoming transmission, the communications officer announced. Here, we go, Alex said quietly. On screen, High Counselor Vexaran's face appeared once more, his expression now stern and unyielding. Your time has expired, Commander Morgan, he said, though they all knew it hadn't. What is your decision? Alex stood tall on the bridge of the Constitution. The massive Zarkonian ships loomed on the view screen, weapons hot and ready. Every crew member watched in silence, waiting for his answer to High Counselor Vexaran's ultimatum. Earth maintains its independence, Counselor, Alex said, his voice steady. We respectfully decline your offer and request safe passage home. Vexaran's alien features hardened. His golden scales seemed to darken with anger. Such primitive stubbornness. Very, well, a demonstration then. He turned away slightly, speaking in his native language to someone off-screen. One of the Zarkonian vessels moved. On the tactical display, Samantha tracked its progress. The secondary cruiser is adjusting position, Commander. Energy readings indicate weapons lock. Are they targeting us? Lisa asked, her voice tense but controlled. Not directly, Samantha replied. I think they're... A bright beam of energy shot from the Zarkonian ship, passing close to the Constitution's bow. The human vessel shuddered slightly from the near miss. That was a fraction of our capability, Vexaran explained, his voice almost gentle now. Our next shot will disable your engines. There will not be a third. Choose wisely, Commander. Alex took a deep breath. This was the moment they had prepared for. The moment that would decide not just their fate, but Earth's future in the galaxy. He, nodded to Samantha. Lieutenant Wright, activate targeting system for Railgun 1, minimal power, program for non-lethal impact. Sir? Samantha looked up in shock. Against their shields? You heard me, Lieutenant. Aye, Commander. Her fingers flew over her console as she input the commands. Railgun 1 online, target acquired. On the view screen, Vexaran's expression changed to one of confusion. What are you doing, Commander Morgan? Your primitive weapons cannot penetrate our shields. This gesture is pointless. Perhaps, Alex replied calmly. But humans have another saying. Actions speak louder than words. He turned to Samantha and nodded. Fire. With a barely perceptible shudder, the Constitution fired a single projectile from its dorsal railgun. To the aliens watching, it must have seemed like a futile act of defiance, a primitive kinetic weapon against their advanced energy shields. The projectile streaked toward the Zarkonian vessel that had fired the warning shot. On the tactical display, they tracked its progress, moving at a significant fraction of light speed, far faster than the aliens expected from primitive human technology. When it reached the Zarkonian shields, something unexpected happened. Instead of exploding harmlessly against the energy barrier, the projectile passed through as if the shields weren't there. The specialized round struck the ship's hull near its engine section and detonated. Unlike a conventional weapon, this projectile released a cascade of electromagnetic energy specifically calibrated to the Zarkonian systems. On the view screen, they watched as the massive alien warship's lights flickered, then went out. The vessel drifted, powerless and dark. Silence fell across all communication channels. For several seconds, no one moved or spoke. The humans on the Constitution's bridge stared at the disabled Zarkonian ship, while the other alien vessels quickly raised additional shields and moved into defensive positions. By the stars, Daniel whispered. It actually worked. What did you do? Vexaran's voice had lost its condescending tone. For the first time, he sounded genuinely shocked. Alex allowed himself a small smile. What you see before you, High Counselor, is the result of your own arrogance. That demonstration used our most basic weapon at minimal power. The projectile contained an electromagnetic pulse specifically calibrated to your shield frequency. Vexaran's alien features shifted through several expressions: shock, rage, and then something that might have been dawning respect. How did you know our shield frequencies? He demanded. Such information is among our most closely guarded military secrets. You've had ships observing Earth for 50 years, Counselor, Alex explained. Did you think we wouldn't notice? For the past decade, we've been studying your observation vessels, learning your technologies, your frequencies, your weaknesses. Lisa stepped forward to stand beside Alex. The ruins we found on Mars weren't just ancient artifacts. They contained information about all the major galactic powers, including the Zarkonian Empire. The previous inhabitants of our system left us a gift before they disappeared: knowledge of the very predators who had driven them to extinction. Impossible, Vexaran whispered. The Marians were defeated 15,000 years ago. Their technology was purged from the galaxy. Not all of it, Daniel added. And when combined with human ingenuity, it became something new, something you never expected. Every weapon has a counter, Counselor, Alex continued. Your empire has relied on technological superiority for so long that you've forgotten the most basic lesson of warfare. Never underestimate your opponent. On his console, Daniel monitored the disabled Zarkonian ship. Their life support is still functioning, Commander. Crew should be unharmed, but all weapons, shields, and propulsion are offline. The remaining Zarkonian vessels had repositioned themselves, clearly unsure whether to attack or retreat. Their weapons remained powered, but they made no move to fire. Let me be clear, Counselor, Alex said firmly. The Constitution carries enough specialized ammunition to disable every ship in your fleet. We came prepared for this confrontation, hoping it wouldn't happen, but ready in case it did. What do you want, human? Vexaran asked, his voice now careful, measured. What we've wanted from the beginning, to be treated as equals. Earth is prepared to join the Galactic Council to share our knowledge and learn from others. But we will not be colonized or controlled. Lisa stepped forward. We propose a new type of agreement, one based on mutual respect rather than domination. Earth can offer the Council new perspectives, new technologies that combine your advanced science with our primitive approaches. The bridge fell silent as they waited for Vexaron's response. The future of Earth, perhaps of the entire galaxy, hung in the balance. After what seemed like an eternity, Vexaron's scales shifted to a more neutral color. It seems we have miscalculated the ingenuity of humans. Perhaps there is more to discuss than we initially believed. The Zarkonian ships began powering down their weapons. The disabled vessel's emergency systems flickered back to life, providing basic power. We will recall the Council for an emergency session, Vexaron said. Your demonstration has earned humanity a new hearing. After the communication ended, the bridge crew of the Constitution let out a collective breath they hadn't realized they were holding. Did that just work? Samantha asked, her voice filled with disbelief. For now, Alex cautioned. This isn't the end, just the beginning of a different kind of battle. Lisa nodded. But it's one we're better equipped to fight. They'll respect us now even if they don't like us. In the vast chamber of the Galactic Council the following day, representatives from across the galaxy regarded the humans with new eyes. The species that had been dismissed as primitive newcomers had become the first in thousands of years to earn their place rather than being granted it. As Ambassador Lisa Chen signed the first truly equal treaty the Council had offered in generations, Commander Alex Morgan stood proudly beside her. He caught the eye of High Counselor Vexaron across the chamber, and the two shared a look of mutual respect, one warrior acknowledging another. The humans had reminded the galaxy of a lesson long forgotten. True strength comes not from technological superiority, but from courage, ingenuity, and the will to stand up for what's right, even against impossible odds. And as the Constitution prepared for its journey home, carrying news of Earth's new place in the galactic community, Alex knew that humanity's greatest adventures were just beginning. The end.